following program are not those of WHNZ AM, its staff, management, or parent company, Clear Channel Communications Incorporated.
This is the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Now, live in studio, your host, local real estate expert, Jamie Meloni.
Hi again, everybody. Happy Monday and welcome to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. This show's on every Mondays at noon, so I invite you to tune in at this time as my show aims to become your information source for the Tampa Bay real estate market. As always, I got a great show planned for you. We're going to be talking first part of the show with Oscar Benavides with Invision Design and Development, all about architecture and interior design. And on the second half of the show, we're going to be talking with Patty O'Leary. She is the CEO of the Children's Cancer Center. So I want to go ahead and start off the show, though, with a Mortgage Minute update. Got one of my regular contributors to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show, Bud Spriggs with Movement Mortgage, live on the air with us. Bud, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Jamie. How are you?
Doing great. Hey, did you catch that soccer game last night?
Oh, man, yeah. I'm a soccer fan during the World Cup, and I was watching it, and you went over the whole range of emotions, man. It was crazy, but now you're definitely ready for that third game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was getting ready to pack up and leave last night, and I was like, what the heck just happened there? And 15 seconds or something left in the game, and then Portugal, gets that goal. It was a great play, and not to take anything away from them.
It was the last play of the game, and you just wonder if they just kind of lax. Who knows?
Yeah.
Only real players would know, but it was a tough one, man.
Yeah, so they got Germany coming up next. It says as long as they at least tie, they're going to go through the next round. So, pulling for that. I'm a bandwagoner. I become a soccer fan, too, when the World Cup comes around. But definitely an exciting time to be watching soccer. South Tampa was very alive with activity last night down in the Soho area. I was out with a friend last night. Couldn't find a place to get in anywhere down on Howard Avenue. Had to go up north on Kennedy just to find a place to, get in and watch the game.
No, it's definitely getting exposure. And, when you say I'm a huge football fan, but they call it the beautiful game. It is a beautiful game to watch.
Absolutely. Bud, what's going on in the mortgage markets?
I wanted to talk today about a loan product that agents should know about and even buyers should know about. Agents, it'll help you close more transactions, and buyers, it'll make it easier to find a home that meets your needs, and that would be a home renovation loan.
Okay.
A lot of people, you've heard the stories, and I hear it from agents that, they're difficult, they're time-consuming, or they're tough to close, and it's not the case of Movement Mortgage. I'm telling you, most of our renovation transactions still close within 30 days, and I got to tell you, when they don't, it's usually because, the buyer or their contractor drug their behinds, and that's when I get an agent involved and say, look, we've got things wrapped up here. We just need to get that estimate so we can order the appraisal and get things rolling. But we're closing our renovation loans within 30 days.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we offer the FHA 203K Streamline, which is it's a perfect loan for the REO properties that need cosmetic work in nature done. We offer the full 203K, which lets you do all kinds. It's an FHA loan, still needing 3.5% down. Lets you do structural work, just about anything you do. I mean, you can add on to the home with that loan. Then we've got a conventional loan product which is called the Home Style, and it lets you go up to $417,000. And then even, this is something you'd be interested in, even the Home Path. Home Path has a renovation loan also.
Yes, Home Path designed for the Fannie Mae foreclosed properties, of which I am a listing broker of as well. So, Bud, real quick, you're a great contributor to the show. How can guests get in touch with you off air?
They can reach me at 727-798-3888 or online, just budspriggs.com. And agents, if you want to sit down and talk to me about these different loan programs and how they can help you close more transactions, I'd love to schedule a time to meet with you. And, of course, buyers, give me a call or go to my website and get pre-approved, a pre-approved customer, or we'll get you fully approved while you're looking for a home. You're a valuable asset out there.
All right. Thanks, Bud. Thanks you very much for contributing to the show, and we'll have you on again soon.
All right. Thank you.
I want to go ahead and go on to my first guest. Oscar Benavides is an architect and interior design and urban planning professional with over 13 years of experience in a portfolio of over 100 projects. He is a specialist in quality control, project management, sustainability, waterfront development, urban planning, green development, and design, as well as a modular and prefabricated systems of construction. He is the president and CEO of his company, Invision Design and Development. Oscar, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit more about yourself and your background of yourself and the company.
Well, I graduated at the University of Kentucky. I travel a lot and worked in different countries. I'm not licensed in the U.S. as an architect or interior designer.
Okay.
I do have my business and run it with other licensed.
Now, your undergrad's in architecture, and I was looking
correct.
through your resume. I mean, it's quite extensive. I mean, you've been involved in businesses all across, the planet here. I mean, looking at, you're involved at Pentacad, Centro Integral de Servicios. Where was that? You're from Venezuela, correct?
Yeah, I was born in Venezuela. I graduated from UK and University of Kentucky and went back to Venezuela, where I opened my own firm there. I also became a professor at the university level for 5 years.
Oh, interesting. And I see you're involved at that job with 3D modeling. That's an interesting.
That's correct.
Talk to me a little bit about 3D modeling.
Well, 3D modeling is the best way to represent a building, and that allows you to give the clients a clear representation of what they want. You'll be able to see proportions, colors, materials, and it has become a key factor in the process of a sale of a project or investment on a project.
Is that something that your company specializes in today? Are you able to do that for clients?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
We do that all the time. We do renderings, videos. We edit it in a way so you can actually get the product out there.
Okay, and you were also involved with many oceanfront design projects as well, correct?
That's correct. Once I came back to Tampa from Venezuela, I started working with engineers, and after I was very familiar with structures, I decided to look for what's the hardest next step, and it was designing waterfront, since you have to deal with different codes, FEMA, very specific structure types.
Now, are you involved in any waterfront projects in the Tampa Bay region right now, or have you designed any in this particular region?
Well, right now I work also for DLW Architects. We do hotels there, and there's a few projects that I'm involved with waterfront hotels.
Okay, any that you can talk about right now? Give any names or anything, or no?
I'm not
still in the design phase, and
yes, we are.
That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's kind of off the cuff comment there. But to me, an architect, it's like an artist. There's a style and a motivation of behind all your designs and ideas. Do you have a signature style that you like to kind of work around?
Well, I don't believe in what we call isms, which are postmodernism, modernism. I believe that each project has a necessity in design and style. You can't do a postmodern building on an area where you have to deal with historical preservation.
Okay.
So there is an identity of the building that needs to be created based on the site conditions, the client's expectations, and some kind of essence of the project.
Okay. Hold that thought. I got to take a quick break to hear from some of our sponsors, but coming back from the break, we're going to be talking a little bit more with Oscar about the design process and what it takes to kind of bring one of these buildings together, in the Tampa Bay region. If you're just tuning in, you've been listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Back in a moment.
Thinking about buying a home? Find out how the HUD Home Store can help you. Visit HUDHomestore.com. Look at HUD homes available for sale near you or nationwide. Why HUD Home Store? HUD will pay up to 3% of the buyer's closing cost. The price of the home is based on an FHA as-is appraisal, which is already completed, saving you an average of $400. And there is an owner-occupant priority bidding period during the first 30 days. Want to know more? Visit HUDHomestore.com.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage. Since opening its doors 120 years ago, Stewart Title Company has established a lasting legacy of providing professional title services. Even other title insurance companies know Stewart Title Company because they do their actual underwriting for them. Stewart is here to provide a wide range of resources to help improve any real estate transaction. To learn more about protecting yourself against hidden title hazards that may threaten your financial investment, call Melissa Stoddard at 813-431-8025. That's 813-431-8025. You're listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show with local expert Jamie Meloni. Now, here's Jamie.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. You'll find my show on every Mondays at noon, so I invite you to please tune in as my show aims to become your information source for the Tampa Bay real estate market. If you're watching my streamcast, all my shows are streamed live. You can find these on my website, tampabayradio.com. I have a show info tab, live streaming. You also catch all my past shows, so I invite you over there. But I'm going to take a moment to market a few of my properties. I'm a realtor with a Coldwell Banker, a bank-owned specialist, and got some pre-list opportunities here for people. These properties not yet on the market. 7636 Tangle Rush Drive down in Gibsonton in Tanglewood Preserve. If you're watching the streamcast, got that live up there on the streamcast. Good demand for these homes, these subdivision style homes. This is a 3-bed, 2-bath home, 1,875 square feet, corner lot, and currently looking to possibly do some repairs, new carpet and paint. So there's good demand for first-time home buyers. These homes have been scooped up very quickly over the last couple of years by institutional investors. And so listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here, you've got a heads up on this particular property. And you can find more information on that particular property at the website, tampabayradio.com. Just go to the Search Properties tab, and there's a link for pre-list properties. And it's also a link on my homepage for these properties as well. Got another great property coming up that is also not on the market just yet. And keep in mind, I do not have prices on these yet. That's why I've not quoted you a price. But this property, 607 Sweet Leaf Drive in Brandon, if you're watching it up on the streamcast, that picture there is a little bit rough, but it's in the process of getting cleaned up. All the properties with foreclosure realtors go through a pre-market process in which we clean them up and get them ready for market. But this property is in the Bloomingdale region of Brandon. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath house, 1,248 square feet. And again, you can find it at my website, tampabayradio.com, under the Search Properties tab. Got a couple of properties on market looking for bring all offers. Got a great HUD property up in Brooksville that HUD is very desperate to get rid of, so they've told me to bring all offers on this property, 8333 Normandy. It's a 3-3 home with 1,440 square feet, listed at $37,000. You can find more information on this property at HUDhomestore.com. But when they tell me to bring all offers, they can probably pick up a deal. So there's a tip for you. 8333 Normandy Drive up in Brooksville. If you're an investor in that region, I invite you over to the HUD Home Store to take a closer look at that. And then reach out to me off the air at my website through my contact form at tampabayradio.com. And I got a great South Tampa property, 3822 West Euclid Avenue, just off of Del Mabry, 3-bed, 2-bath house, 1,428 square feet, $169,900. Needs some work, but it's a great project home in a great area, and the bank is looking for all offers. So please get in touch with me, and that property is available for more viewing on any of the real estate websites out there. So I want to go ahead and continue my conversation. We've been talking with Oscar Benavides. He's an architect with Invision Design and Development. And, Oscar, tell me, actually Stella Giudicelli, she's joined us live in studio. She's also a contributor here to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show. You had a question for Oscar that you're talking about off the air. Go ahead and bring that to the floor here.
Yes, Jamie, thank you. As you were talking, Oscar, I was wondering, and I think that's a question that our listeners may have. So I understand you've been working on hotels projects and by the water as well. What other projects would you work on to? Would you, design and build a home for an individual or family?
Yes, I do a lot of commercial and custom homes, renovations, additions. Basically, we target all types of markets.
Okay.
But mostly in this region.
So when you say we...
my team of people.
Your team of people. Okay, yeah. Very good. Thank you.
Now, let's talk a little bit about how a design project comes together. First, what is the structure and role of the major players in a building design? Who are the different players that come together to put these things together?
Well, every project has a different team. Okay, it depends on the scale, the size of the project. We get different, professionals involved. Definitely, we need the client, and we have the design team. With the design team, we also have consulting engineering, which we'll talk about the structures, all the different services that they need. After that, basically, we jump into another phase where we put things together and we do construction documents.
Now, who is the inspiration behind the buildings? Is that generally a general contractor that gets an idea put together? As the architect? You had mentioned to me before the show that a certain a person had put together a design that is being talked about for possibly down in downtown Tampa now. It was just talk to me a little bit more about that.
That's right. Well, basically the creative in the whole thing is the architect, whether it's from a site or a conceptual project or from a client. To mention that project in downtown Tampa, it was a collaboration of this architect from Argentina that he had a concept that he wanted Tampa to look big, and he decided to do this building.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see some more development in downtown Tampa, and we were talking about that off the air there about that Tampa is just kind of it's a big city with kind of a small town feel, and it's ripe for development, and we would love to see a lot more activity down there. What's your take on that?
I agree. Once I came to Tampa about 10 years ago, I saw the potential that actually Tampa has everything that is needed to become a big city. We have beautiful waterfronts. We have the port. We have, Busch Gardens. That we have all kinds of entertainment. We actually host most of the large entertainment in U.S. So there's a lot of potential for Tampa Bay to become a true icon of U.S.
Yeah, what is it do you think that holds Tampa back from becoming a more major metro than it already is? I mean, Tampa is a big city as it is, but it's more of Tampa Bay you think of as the major metro. Tampa itself is kind of not as major as a lot of the cities.
I must agree with you. I think it's planning. There's been some conflict with planning and long-term studies of where the city should go and focus and having the right team of people working on it and keep the same pattern and not changing it back and forth like this has happened before.
Now, in the design process, obviously, you got to deal with the city and county officials. And what's it like dealing with them? I mean, what are the different phases of development? I mean, you have the zoning board, the planning board. How does all that fit together? I mean,
that depends on the project. If we're talking about doing a large suburb project, we have to deal with EPC, we have to deal with the county, zoning, planning, and all these different agencies. So what we do, we kind of project sort of like prototypes, and we show them, and we kind of work back and forth, and what will work, what won't work, what kind of zoning we need, what kind of changes that we need to have, and that's how actually it's a process.
So I guess the first step in the process is probably to put together a feasibility study.
Well, that's part of it. Yeah, when we get a client that he wants to buy a large piece of land and he has a large project he wants to do, we do a feasibility project. We work with his financial people, with his team. Usually they come with a team, and we work with them, and we kind of foresee what route we should take. Okay,
and then you produce the renderings and a market package, and this is all stuff that your company does as well, correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. Now, you're also involved in interior design, and you had mentioned how you can help real estate professionals with just their everyday buyers. Tell me a little bit about this.
Well, I see a niche to work with realtors, and I'll give you an example. Say that you have a large office building, and you need some kind of space planning or because you're targeting in a specific market. Say that you're targeting a medical office. Mm-hmm. Well, obviously the building has to have a build out according to the medical office needs. So it's quite different than a lawyer's office. So we can help with that. Same thing with in the residential area. Say that you have a large home that you want to sell, and the client likes the house but doesn't really feel comfortable with certain aspects of the house, and it needs some changes. So we're able to do those changes.
Yeah, you had mentioned to me it's something I had never thought of. And when you work with a buyer that's looking to build a new home, to involve an architect, it's not something that I would think of. You just go to I just think of going to the new home builder and picking a few options. Tell me a little bit more about your services with that.
There's being this thought that architects are only for certain market, a high-end market, and in reality, if you look at the cost of an architect compared to what you pay for your house, it's actually a pretty decent thing to do to have your custom home made as you want it.
Yeah, and you were saying you could finance just the cost of your consulting fee, I guess, into the design and overall cost, and then mortgage that, and then it adds, a negligible amount to the amount.
That's correct. So at the end, you end up paying little money a month for your dream home.
And is that something that you see a lot of people taking advantage of, or is that something that you're trying to develop within your company?
That's what we're trying to develop. That's why we're kind of looking at working with realtors and banking and those kind of members of the community, so we can expose this possibility now for homeowners.
Okay. And what do you enjoy more? Do you like working with interior design or the architecture more, or is there kind of a little bit of both?
It's all about passion. It's all about getting things out there and making people happy and comfortable and having the right space to work with. And it doesn't matter if it's interior or actually a building.
Right. Now, you also work with one of my contributors, Impoluto Pristine Services. She was on my show last week, quite an entertaining show, by the way. But my good friend, Esther Gutierrez, what is your role with Impoluto Pristine Services?
Well, actually, we kind of doing a partnership to impulse this kind of projects, working with realtors and giving the services pre, during, and post sale of a property.
Okay. And you can also find Impoluto Pristine Services. They are an expert contributor to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show. You'll find them on my website. Oscar, real quick before we hit another break here, how can people get in touch with you off air?
Well, they can get in touch with me through the internet, and I think you have a link to my site.
Yeah, it'll be up on my show as the past guests and everything. Yeah. And what's the phone number that people can reach you at?
813-334-9946.
And one more time for the audience.
813-334-9946.
And the services go through again how you can help. You're talking about realtors that are working with home buyers, and you can help them customize new homes, and you can also help commercial realtors as well with their development projects and their build outs as well. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Any other services you should touch on before?
Well, we will offer a turnkey project. We have our team of contractors, and we will offer in a really good price. And like I said, we will put our efforts to get a great project out.
All right, sounds good. And if you didn't get his contact information, you can find him on my website here. I'll have him up on the Tampa Bay radio site under the past guests in the Get Help section, again, of TampaBayRadio.com. If you're just tuning in, you've been listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Coming back from the break, we're going to be talking with Patty O'Leary, CEO of the Children's Cancer Center. So please stay tuned. Back in a moment.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman. Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. You can keep it forever for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-800-241-7640. 1-800-241-7640. That's 1-800-241-7640. 1-800-241-7640.
At Mr. Sparky, our skilled electricians can help fix any electrical problem. From breaker boxes to home surge protectors, we'll get your life back to normal faster. Call Mr. Sparky today for any electrical need.
You don't have to put up with If any malarkey, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Each location is an independently owned and operated franchise of Mr. Sparky, each licensed respectively in their state or county.
Don't let termites kick you out of your home. Earth's Best Natural Pest Management offers effective orange oil treatment that kills termites and termite eggs while you stay home. Be one of the first 10 callers and receive a free termite inspection along with a 20% discount. Call Earth's Best at 800-634-1313. 800-634-1313. No move-outs, no worry about your pets or plants. Call now for your 20% discount and free termite inspection. 800-634-1313.
Need AC? Call Simpson Air, the coolest guys in town. Log on to thecoolestguys.com.
This report is brought to you by the new Total Traffic app.
For times when you can't hear live traffic reports on your radio, download our new Total Traffic app. Get the simplest view of traffic conditions all around you. Available for iPhone and Android, the Total Traffic app is the easiest way to see the road ahead.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center, major roadways in good shape at the time. 275 checking clear throughout Pinellas and Hillsborough counties. The Veterans and the Selman Expressways running up to speed. There was an accident causing delays along Providence Road in between Bloomingdale and Lumsden at Providence Lakes Boulevard. And authorities working to clean up a crash along Roosevelt Boulevard at 46th Street. That should be off to the side. If you see a problem on the roadways, call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line at 866-545-9595.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. A few scattered showers moved onshore from about southern Hillsborough up through Pasco County, moving into Polk as the showers start to move a little easterly. Expect some storms this afternoon rather than the evening time when we've been used to seeing them. Highs today in the mid to lower 90s and lows in the mid-upper 70s for the rest of the week. Low 90s, some mid-90s inland. Rain chance low through Wednesday, then up for the end of the week, 40-50% Thursday and Friday. 1233 markets mixed. Dow's off 30, Nasdaq up a point. The S&P index down by 1. Dow to 16,919. 1250 wins. WHNZ.
You're listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show with local expert Jamie Meloni. Now, here's Jamie.
Hi again, everybody, and thanks for staying tuned in to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. You'll find my show on every Mondays at noon, so I invite you to please tune in as my show aims to become your information source for the Tampa Bay real estate market. In the first half of the show there, we're talking with Oscar Benavides. He's an architect and interior designer with Invision Design and Development. And here coming up in just a moment, we're going to be talking with Patty O'Leary. She is the CEO of the Children's Cancer Center. But I want to go ahead and put out an offer for all of my listeners that I do on every show. I am a real estate professional here in the Tampa region, and to all the potential home sellers out there in the marketplace, I offer a free home valuation. Just text the word value to my cell phone, which is 813-760-8516. Again, text the word value to my cell phone, 813-760-8516, and I offer a free home valuation to anybody who texts that word over to my cell phone, and I can usually get those turned around for you in 24 to 48 hours. And I always say you may be surprised as to what your home is worth. Values have come up 20% probably in the last 2 years or so due to a large influx of institutional investing that's been going on in the Tampa Bay region. And if you bought probably around 2012, that's where I'm saying the bottom was. And so if you bought in the year 2012, you probably see a decent return on a home. So if you're considering selling, again, text the word value to my cell phone, 813-760-8516. Before we go on to our second guest, I got one of my expert contributors on the phone, Malcolm Tennant. He is a reverse mortgage specialist with Access Reverse. Malcolm, how are you doing today?
Oh, great, Jamie. Just had a wonderful weekend. How about yourself?
Oh, doing great myself. Talking earlier on about that soccer game, I'm sure that was probably part of your weekend, was it not?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a big soccer fan, but I am now. This is it's exciting when you have a country to cheer for.
Yeah, it's. I'm a bandwagoner. I said at the beginning of the show. When the World Cup comes around, I'm a fan just like everybody else. But if it's not the World Cup, I really don't know what's going on. Is that it kind of describes yourself? It sounds like as well, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's amazing how the rest of the world goes so crazy over it. But I'm excited right now.
Yeah. So they're back again. Like I said at the beginning of the show, they're up against Germany. So as long as they can pull out at least a tie, which will be difficult to do. Germany's one of the best teams in the world. Will advance. But definitely looking forward to another exciting game this week. So
yeah,
Malcolm,
yeah, me too. Thursday night.
Yep. So Malcolm, tell me a little bit more about reverse mortgages and what do you want to talk about today?
Well, there's a couple of things. I mean, first, I don't know if anybody's heard my segment in the past, but our company, our business Access Reverse Mortgage, we're based in St. Petersburg. We're in our 10th year. We do just reverse mortgages. We're a family-owned and operated business, and so we're truly expert in the reverse mortgage field.
Yeah, you've done a number of segments on my show, and there's a lot of misinformation about reverse mortgages, and there can be quite a great financial product for consumers out there. If you want to elaborate a little bit more on that.
Yeah, the press really likes to put out bad headlines on reverse mortgage, and almost every time when you really dig into the article, there's always a financial situation that's often tragic, but it's usually nothing to do with the reverse mortgage. It's usually a side issue, the last one being the Tampa Bay Times headline piece, as we discussed on your show last time, was the people didn't pay their homeowners insurance for 5 years and they got foreclosed on. But, that's nothing to do with reverse mortgage. That's any mortgage.
Yeah, and that's something I've learned from you is that a reverse mortgage you can't be foreclosed on unless you fail to pay your taxes or your insurance. And they're a fairly safe financial product. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, those are the main issues. There's you have to maintain the house. You have to live there, just basic things like that. But the reverse mortgages are insured and guaranteed by FHA. The program's been around for 25 years. It's really a great product, and I just encourage everybody to investigate for themselves and find out what the real facts are, because it's a great program for a lot of people. A lot of people, baby boomers, which I would qualify as that. Most of our equity's tied up in our houses. And most baby boomers are somewhat underfunded for retirement, or could at least enjoy having some additional income for retirement. So reverse mortgage is going to be a great fit for a lot of people and become much more mainstream as a financial product, I think, in the months and years ahead.
Okay, and Malcolm, real quick, before I have to move on to my next guest, how can consumers listening to you get in touch with you off the air?
Best thing, just call the office, 727-347-0305, 727-347-0305. Our website's accessreverse.com. But either way, call the office. We're happy to talk, and we're really on a mission to educate people on how these things work. We've got some great new interest rate products, very low interest rate, very good. We got some great new rules out there. There's right now there's basically no financial qualification. That's going to change pretty dramatically October 1st, but right now it's pretty wide open for everybody.
All right, sounds good. And if you didn't catch that, Malcolm is a regular contributor to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show, so you can find all his information at TampaBayRadio.com. Malcolm, thank you very much for coming on air.
Thanks for the time, Jamie.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Quite welcome. I want to go ahead and move on to my second guest, Patty O'Leary. She is the CEO of the Children's Cancer Center. She's driven to help children and their families succeed, and she's been working to fulfill this calling for decades. For 10 years, she owned Huntington Learning Centers, an accredited school which offers both remedial and enrichment services to students. Now, as the Chief Operating Officer of the Children's Cancer Center, this mother of two ensures that families dealing with cancer or life-threatening blood disorders receive the emotional, educational, and financial support that they need to cope. Patty, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jamie, for having me.
Thank you very much for coming on. So tell me a little bit more about yourself and your organization.
Okay, well, I am going on my 5th year of being the COO of the Children's Cancer Center, and as you had stated, I really started my professional career as an educator, both teaching in the classroom and out of the classroom, and then being part of a franchised opportunity where I could interact with the kids but be the franchise owner of that organization. After selling my business, I had a desire to just do good in our own community, and my path crossed past with the Children's Cancer Center that has been in the Tampa Bay community for 40 years. So,
yeah, elaborate more on the history of the Children's Cancer Center, if you would.
Sure. I mean, it's pretty endearing when you think about it. It was 40 years ago that a local family here lost their daughter to pediatric cancer. They were, I would say they were a very philanthropic, well-off family, so they didn't face financial challenges, and they recognized that although Tampa had great medical services, they as a family, including their daughter Helen, she was very isolated through her journey. You know, she didn't get to interact with many other children. They as parents became very isolated to their social groups and their social surroundings. So given that, they were fortunate enough to cross paths with one of only 3 female HEMAC doctors in the whole state of Florida.
No, HEMAC, what is that exactly?
HEMOC, I'm sorry, it's HEMOC. Hematology oncology is an area of medicine that physicians specialize in when they work with children that are not only battling cancer, but again, those life-threatening blood disorders. A life-threatening blood disorder can be complicated, but most people are most familiar with like hemophilia would qualify. A very large population of individuals suffering from blood disorders is the sickle cell community. So those are 2 of our largest communities. So Dr. Jan Judish, very young in her career, was a HEMOC physician here in the Tampa Bay area. She crossed paths with the Burnett family who had lost their daughter, and together they envisioned an organization that would specialize in dealing with families' immediate needs. So if a family is in financial distress, they have a place to turn to. There's a lot of emotional challenges that a family is faced with. That's an entire family. And then by all means, one of the biggest platforms is education, really giving these families the tools to learn how to cope and readjust to something that has really turned their lives upside down.
Now, what is the reach of the Children's Cancer Center? Is this local, regional, statewide? What is the reach?
It's local over 5 counties. Okay. So for any child that is serviced by a Tampa Bay hospital, they are entitled to our services. So we have 24 support programs that, of course, are free of charge to the families. And so mainly the 5 counties, we have a little over 900 families in our database. But it wouldn't be uncommon that a child, let's say from New York, needed to go through their protocol treatment plan here at All Children's or St. Joe's, and they would then therefore be eligible for our services.
Patty, how many families are you serving at the moment, like active families?
Active families, Stella, right now is close to 900, or I'd say slightly over 900 families, and that's a large number. So just to help clarify, it doesn't mean that 900 individuals walk through our building on a daily basis, but they are eligible for services. So a service may be as involved as meeting with that family on a weekly basis for counseling, or they're attending our evening support groups. But on the other end of the spectrum, it just may be that they take advantage of Ticket Bank. Ticket Bank is where individuals in the community can donate tickets to shows or the theater or a sporting event. And it wouldn't be on that family's radar to purchase tickets or to take the time maybe away from their daily lives to attend an event. But that's what we're doing. We're encouraging them to stay together as a family, to be involved, to allow the siblings to experience positive experiences. So there's where those numbers, Stella, get larger. You know, they may just come to an event once a year, but they are in our database and we are touching their lives and hopefully making an impact.
That's beautiful. And, as you know, I've been a volunteer at the Children's Cancer Center for a while, and I started with the evening support groups. Can you elaborate? Because it is, as a volunteer, I know it's an incredible experience to be able to spend that time with the families and the children. So can you tell the audience what are the evening support groups?
Sure. An example or a visual. Maybe I'll give you a visual of what an evening support group would look like. Stella would be a very active volunteer on our oncology evening support groups. Oncology are kids that are actively on treatment for cancer. When those kids and families come on a Thursday evening, the first hour is pretty much really like going to a family member's home. That's what it should really feel like. They can leave their troubles behind. It's an environment that's conducive to their needs. So they come in the first hour, we have dinner together, family style buffet dinner. They come in with their parents, the kids on treatment, brothers and sisters. Their immediate family is what this is designed for. A local business will always donate a meal. A huge supporter is Casper, McDonald's, and Chick-fil-A will always provide some sort of a meal. The family will eat for the first hour. And then within that second hour of a support group, the parents retreat so that they can have facilitated group. And group for the parents may mean just talking to one another and sharing. That's really where they get some of their best ideas and most of their comfort from someone who's going through the same journey. And then as far as the kids are concerned, Stella knows it's all out bedlam. You would not know that these kids were sick if they weren't bald and had a port or potentially some sort of physical marking, because they just want to be kids. And so our volunteer base, along with our staff, there is anything from art therapy to music therapy to just dancing and running and playing pool and playing on the sport court. And that's really where we came up with the term, kids need more than medicine to be well. And that's a big part of what we're giving them, is their childhood back.
Okay, hold that thought. I got to take a quick break. But coming back, I want to talk about some of the events that you've got coming up. If you're just tuning in, you've been listening to the Jamie Maloney Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins, WHNZ. Back in a moment.
Since opening its doors 120 years ago, Stewart Title Company has established a lasting legacy of providing professional title services. Even other title insurance companies know Stewart Title Company because they do their actual underwriting for them. Stewart is here to provide a wide range of resources to help improve any real estate transaction. To learn more about protecting yourself against hidden title hazards that may threaten your financial investment, call Melissa Stoddard at 813-431-8025. That's 813-431-8025. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Thinking about buying a home? Find out how the HUD Home Store can help you. Visit HUDHomestore.com. Look at HUD homes available for sale near you or nationwide. Why HUD Home Store? HUD will pay up to 3% of the buyer's closing cost. The price of the home is based on an FHA as-is appraisal, which is already completed, saving you an average of $400. And there is an owner-occupant priority bidding period during the first 30 days. Want to know more? Visit HUDHomestore.com.
You're listening to the Jamie Maloney Real Estate Show with local expert Jamie Maloney. Now, here's Jamie.
Hi again, everybody. Thanks for staying tuned in to the Jamie Maloney Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins, WHNZ. I invite you to tune in every Mondays at noon as my show aims to become your information source for the Tampa Bay real estate markets. We've been talking here in the second half of the show with Patty O'Leary. She's the CEO of the Children's Cancer Center. And I want to go ahead and talk about some of the events, the fundraising events, because you're a nonprofit organization. It's a 501c3, am I correct?
Correct, Jamie.
Okay. And so obviously you get all your money through donations and grants and things of that nature. You got some events coming up, the third annual Fall Stampede and the Wine and Women in Shoes. Tell me a little bit about these events.
We have two great events. The first one that's coming up is on September 27th, and that is our September Stampede. We do this in September because that's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. We partner with Chick-fil-A. They're our title sponsor. We do it out in lovely Curtis Hickson Park. In our first year, we had 800 runners. In our second year, we had over 1,000 runners. So that's whether you're a novice or you're an elite runner. It's a great afternoon for the family. It's actually morning, I should say, not afternoon, but we have 22 of the Chick-fil-A cars that will race alongside of you. We have the kids on treatment that cheer you along the route. It goes right along the waterfront there. There's Chick-fil-A provides food for all runners.
I was going to say, I'd go there just for the Chick-fil-A sandwiches. I love that place.
You're not kidding. It's really a good time. We have Family Fun Zone. We have every sports team's mascots come out, and they have a race. So you can choose your favorite mascot, whether that's Raymond, obviously, or the Bucks mascot. It's a great afternoon, and as you said, that's clearly how we raise funds to support these families.
And you also have a Wine, Women, in Shoes. How does that work?
Maybe Stella can tell us. Stella is, we're coaching Stella, or begging, I should say, to be one of the chairs of our Wine, Women, in Shoes event. So maybe Stella was participatory in it last year. It's an amazing event for women.
Oh yes. I guess I was happened to get into it at a time where I wanted to reconnect with the Children's Cancer Center, and that event happened. And it's just a perfect event for women. We are all gathering together, and we're talking about shoes and clothes and sipping wine. There's a beautiful fashion show. So I'm talking about, that was back in 2013. It's happening at the Renaissance Hotel. It's in November. And do you have the exact date, Patty, at all?
I do. It's on November 20th. And as Stella said, it's very unique. It's really like the ultimate girls' night out.
Right.
It is for women only, and you get catered and waited on by some of Tampa's elite, handsome men, and they are walking around with displaying shoes and champagne on trays. We have 20 vintners coming from all over the United States and 20 vendors, so you can shop boutiques you might not get to shop here in Tampa Bay. And as Stella said, there's a fashion show and food. It's really a wonderful evening for women to get out and support the mission.
And is it just a fee to attend? Is that all that's involved? You pay a ticket fee, I guess.
You
to come
do.
to
You
it?
buy your tickets online only. And last year, I'm pleased to say though that we had to shut the event down due to the overwhelming desire to attend. So you purchase your ticket online at Wine, Women, and Shoes Tampa. You can go right to our microsite, and your ticket price includes all of your wine tasting and your champagne for the evening and the fashion show. So and the ability to shop these boutiques.
And how many? Go ahead, Stella.
Yes, and I'd like to mention as well that we are looking for sponsors for the event. I have to say one of my favorite sponsorship is that this is a women event. Men are allowed to come to serve us, and they come. We call them the soul men as references to shoes, and they come and sponsor themselves to have the pleasure to come and serve us wine and champagne and look after us all night. So I have to say that's one of my favorite sponsorships.
And how long have you been doing this event? Is this the second year?
This is only our second year.
Okay, because I remember, I think you were talking about this earlier, Stella, and so very interesting idea as well. How is the Children's Cancer Center, or is it affiliated with Moffitt Cancer Center? Is there any affiliation between the two, or no?
Well, there was. Originally, the Children's Cancer Center operated, Jamie, right out of Moffitt. That's, when Moffitt first opened its doors, they worked with pediatrics. 11 years ago, when Moffitt changed their platform, Moffitt no longer treats pediatrics. So therefore, the relationship is non-existent only because we don't share patients or clients per se. So we work directly with all children's, St. Joe's, and Tampa General. Those are where the children are actually being treated, and then they're directly referred to us upon diagnosis.
Okay, so now if you have a children that unfortunately has been diagnosed with a blood disorder or cancer, they reach out to the Children's Cancer Center for support. Is there fees for service? Is this covered through insurance, or how does all that work?
Actually, 100% of all their services are free to the families, and how that is supported is through our fundraising efforts and grants.
There is no fees or anything.
There is no fees, right.
Want to make that clear and stuff to the audience who may be going through an event such as this. And you have a lot of programs to get people involved. I was looking at your website, Big Buddy Mentoring. Tell me a little bit about some of these programs, such as Big Buddy Mentoring.
Sure. The Big Buddy Mentoring is really special to me because although the focus needs to be on that diagnosed child, we have to remember there's other kids oftentimes in that household and in that family. So we, the Children's Cancer Center, partner with USF second-year medical students, and those medical students mentor through a Big Buddy program a sibling of a diagnosed patient. So that sibling gets to have some one-on-one time outside of their household with somebody that they can relate to and connect with, and they can do the things they want to do. It could be as elaborate as going to a lightning game. It might just be having coffee and talking. And so that's really special to us because it really, Jamie, is about the whole family. Our support programs are designed for mothers, fathers, and siblings.
Yeah, I can imagine as, a sibling, it's probably difficult to cope, especially when they're still developing just, as a person in general, to have a sibling, diagnosed, with, cancer or a blood disorder. And so that's a great program, that's offered through the Children's Cancer Center. And you have a number of other programs as well, camps, holiday adopt a family, teen groups. Any of these you'd like to elaborate on?
Sure. You know what? Maybe holiday adopt a family, although December and Christmas seems far off. It's really not. And this is unique because anybody in the community can get involved. As a family or an individual, you can actually have the opportunity to adopt a family for the holidays. And again, it doesn't always mean that that family is in financial distress. It may mean that a week before the holidays, they were diagnosed and their world is upside down. And the last thing they have time for or emotionally are thinking about is holiday shopping. And so you connect with the center, you call us directly, we'll put you in charge of the director of that program, and whether you're a business or an individual family, it's really a very special thing to adopt a family and offer them the holiday of a lifetime, and then in turn you really get to see who that family is, and there's definitely that emotional connection that sometimes isn't available when you're working with a nonprofit organization.
How many volunteers would you say you have at any given time?
Well, it's vast, but in order for us to operate, we have to regularly have a minimum of about 100 volunteers, but that doesn't include like special events and fundraising events. Someone may just want to get involved on that level, but regularly keeping our programs active, we need 100.
Okay. And how can people get involved, with the Cancer Center? I mean, if I'm interested, what are some of the things we can do?
You can go directly to our website at www.childrenscancercenter.org, and you can get involved either as a volunteer. You can get involved, obviously, by sponsoring some of our fundraising events. We have numerous ways, and on the website, it will take you through and navigate you with what's the appropriate fit for you.
Yeah, I noticed, you can host an event. You also have internships available as well, I saw.
We do. We have internships, and those range from, we're a unique organization that we have internships for people that are business minded, from that marketing, fundraising, development side, to people that are child life specialists, social workers, counselors. So it's both mainly medical and business.
Okay. And real quick here before we have to go off the air, how can people listening get in touch with you personally off the air if they're interested?
Sure. Jamie, they can reach me directly at 813-380-6726, and all my information is located on our website.
What's the website address, please?
www.childrenscancercenter.org.
All right. Well, I greatly appreciate you coming on the Jamie Maloney Real Estate Show. That was Patty O'Leary. She is the CEO of the Children's Cancer Center. So, Patty, thank you again very much for coming on the show and a lot of great information. I wish you the best of luck with the Children's Cancer Center. If you're just tuning in, you've been listening again to the Jamie Maloney Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. You'll find my show on every Mondays at noon, so I invite you to please tune in as my show aims to become your information source for the Tampa Bay real estate market. Off air, you can get me at my website, tampabayradio.com, where you can find all of my prior shows via the show info tab. And you can also search all of my real estate listings, as I am a realtor with Coldwell Banker here in the Tampa region, and I am a bank-owned foreclosure specialist, so you can find a lot of great deals as I list many properties. So again, I invite you over to tampabayradio.com. Hope everybody has a great week, and hopefully America can pull out this next game against Germany here this week. And we'll see you again here next Monday at noon on the Jamie Maloney Real Estate Show. Have a great week, everybody.
The opinions, viewpoints, and